Hello everyone, welcome back to Sports Company with me, Rishi and Adi, and yeah, it's another day in the ICC T20 World Cup. It's another day that Pakistan have not failed to deliver, at least from the entertainment front. For their own fans, of course, it must be another frustrating day. It's another frustrating loss because India made 119, and it doesn't matter where you're playing. On that wicket, it looked at a point. If India really batted well, it could have got to 140, 150, but they didn't. But once you're there and you're chasing 120, and at the halfway stage, you've lost just one wicket, I simply don't understand how Pakistan have ended up losing this game. Of course, there was some good bowling from India in the middle, especially from Pandya, Bumrah, and Aksar. But dude, Rishta, how did this? How are they capable of doing it again?
I mean, that's pretty much how Pakistan operate, or they have been operating lately, haven't they? Like in games where you feel like they can't lose, or in fixtures where you'd on another occasion you'd say, okay, of course they are gonna go through, or of course they're gonna see through this, and then Pakistan pulls a Pakistan. Like at this point, it's fair to say Pakistan pulling a Pakistan pretty much means gripping or snatching defeat from the jaws of win at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
And I mean, even before the game, to be honest, Ambati Raidu, the much controversial Ambati Raidu, was saying that if India can score about anything around 110 or 115, that itself gives a competitive edge. Like and in fact, Raidu was very confident. He was saying that you score 115, India, like this is India's game, like for
Yeah,
sure. And of course, through going through how the games have featured out over the past, of course, like we know, none of us were expecting it to be a high scoring game. None of us were expecting it to be a 180, a 190 pitch. And when we were watching the first innings, the way our batsmen got out, we felt like yes, there was another 30 or 20 run gap. Anywhere
yeah.
between 20 to 30 runs we could have scored to, at least give it. But then I was fairly confident that if we could get to 120, even I was telling you at 90, I was telling you if we can get 30 odd runs, this game is there. It is very much alive and kicking.
Yeah.
And yeah, fair enough. We made it difficult for Pakistan in the middle overs. I feel our bowlers are not getting, and to be fair to Rohit Sharma for his captaincy, for his bowling changes, for his field settings as well, we almost choked them for runs through the middle overs towards the end, from a point where it was less than six an over. They were
Yeah.
it was not even six and over, it was less than six and over. We got it down from there to almost 10 or 9 and over in the last two overs. Like that our credit has to go to our bowlers, like especially
Yeah.
Arshdeep, Hardik Pandya, Bumrah, of course, man. Like from the time where the internet trolls have been going on about ab to sharam kar le Bumrah. From there to like the way he has, like even in IPL, you could see him being the only beacon of light for Mumbai Indians. And the number of occasions where he himself has been like, you know what? Yeah, I can't rely on others. I'm going to do this by myself. The number of times he has grabbed our bowling unit by the neck and done things on his own, turned games on his own. I think he has to go down as one of our greatest ever bowlers. Like
Yeah.
if if
100%.
this if this already didn't cement, like if this was already not established, I think this pretty much establishes it, at least for me.
Yeah, I think same. I think Bumrah. I don't think there's much to talk about Bumrah. Just class apart, different gravy. But it's not Pakistan again, Adi, because the innings was going well until a point. They lost, almost didn't lose a wicket in the power play. It was there again, if not for Bumrah. But yeah, dude, we've lost one wicket at the midway stage. How do you lose it from there?
Yeah, dude, that's the thing for me. Looking at the performance, we can make fun of Pakistan how much we want, but at the end of the day, it was pretty even the entire game in terms of we didn't score well. Also, you know, it's not like we put in a good fight in our batting lineup because let me be more towards India because we are looking towards the top eight and then semi-finals, finals. If you're looking to win, I was actually very disappointed with India yesterday. The way they batted right from the beginning. Virat, Rohit, again a pretty poor first two games for them as a partnership and an opening pair. Both of them, I mean, Virat losing wickets early both the times in the past two matches where he's played, one run last game, 4 runs this game. both the line. I don't think he had to go hit it. Like he could have taken his time. It was too wide. I think it was too tempting for him not to hit it. Got out. But after that, apart from punt, I don't think I saw anyone batting well for India. When I look at India as a batting unit, none of them looked to the occasion. None of them, had a proper. Firstly, I don't think anyone looked comfortable as a batter. Like I feel like Rohit Sharma had good touch, but again with him, it's his nature of going searching for the ball and just getting out stupidly. I think it's been his case over time. Like I don't think Rohit Sharma as a guy is like, I'm going to sit, play the entire 10 overs. It's like, I'm just going to pick from the beginning. Let's see what happens. And apart from them, Punt had to struggle through the entire innings, but he kept his wicket and just kept playing, pushing through the scenarios. Whatever situations he faced, he got dropped. You can say he got lucky, he dropped twice, but both were tough catches. But again, he's the only one who showed intent, tried to play through phases. Apart from that, people like Dubey, even Sky, Hardik Pandya, and Jadeja, like four seasoned batsmen. Maybe Dubey is only one who doesn't have international experience, but apart from that, the rest four had abundance of time to play. They were not in any pressure situation where, like, especially with Sky, he didn't come into a pressure situation knowing how the pitch is. As Rishi and said, like even 120 is a good score. But my point is like playing through the innings, getting all out to this Pakistan. You can say Pakistan's bowling is great, but I still believe they've been a bit overrated in terms of they're very inconsistent. You can play them means you can score high runs against them. We saw how US played against them, but we struggled in that, and I was actually disappointed in that sense because I feel like getting 140, 150 was not tough in yesterday's wicket if we played with our brains. And especially Sky, the way he got out. Dubey, very disappointed with Dubey, the way he got out, and same with Jadeja. So when it comes to India's batting, that's what we said, right? Like coming into this tournament, I think we trust our bowlers more. And yesterday, even the bowlers shift, even in the batting, like Siraj and Arshdeep scoring, 16 runs in the end actually saved us when you think about it. Because with the way we lost wickets, if Arshdeep and Siraj got out for ducks, we would never even spoken about them, in terms of getting those 15, 16 extra runs was so important because if imagine they also crumbled down like how Dubey, Jadeja, Hardik crumbled down, we would have not been in a situation where we would have won. Maybe we would have been talking about how Pakistan won yesterday's game and how, suddenly we are under pressure and we have to win our rest of the games. So, in terms of that, we can always talk about how Pakistan chased because that's a different story. I think with the target they had, they should have chased that down easily, even though India had the likes of Bumrah. I mean, apart from Bumrah, I don't think any other bowler of India was tough to face enough where like you can't score of other players. Like if you want to defend 4 overs of Bumrah and be very economical and play very tactfully against Bumrah, you still had another four bowlers where you could pick them up. And the way Pakistan played is not surprising for me. The way they played, I expected them to lose. I was not at all confident with them chasing that 120 also because it's just the nature of their entire batting order. I said if Rizwan doesn't play well, this team just doesn't know how to bat over the innings.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, dude, but I think in India you have to look at them. I don't think even Pant necessarily looked very comfortable. I don't think anybody looked comfortable batting except for Aksar actually, to an extent. Who I thought played pretty well. He played good cricketing shots. I think timed most of his boundaries. It didn't really look like any Indian batter wanted to take the game deep. Pant also did not look like he wanted to take the game deep. I missed at least 6 to 7 reverse, whatever switch hits or reverse flicks or whatever he was trying. So I think there's a real problem in the sense that nobody wants to take the game deep. Like if Pant, who was the set batter, if he just decided, let me rotate strike, let me play through the overs, I'll get through this phase, and if I bat till the end, we'll get 140 easily. I don't think that mentality is there in any player. That's the issue, I think. And it wasn't there with the openers. It wasn't there with Pant, whoever followed, Sky, Dubey. Yeah, I think that's the issue with the Indian
I
batting,
mean,
especially on a
but,
cricket like
but
this.
yeah, but when you see the wickets of Dubey, Hardik, Sky also, I don't think they should have gotten out. Like even Jadeja, the way they got out
I
was
agree. I
not the
agree.
mindset of a single or double or let me start hitting from the first. It was just they didn't pick the bounce well. They didn't get the line and length right, and they just didn't know how to react in the pitch. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like especially with Dubey, I think he was not even set enough to play that ball because like the way he got out was very weird and awkward. And same with Jadeja. I mean, you can say Hardik was unlucky because he was trying to hit because of the situation of where we were. But apart from that, the rest three, even Sky, I don't think he should have gotten out the way he did. Like, he tried to play it over the covers, he just got caught. And that's my point. Like, even Punt, you can say, he was, in my opinion, he was not that set. To be fair, even the pitch is very tough to play on. I don't think anyone can bat consistently on this pitch because of the uneven bounce, anyways. So you're going to find some balls where they miss it, etc. But my point was, even with Pant, as you said, he was not looking to rotate strike. He was in the. There were 2-3 times where Akshay Patel was ready to take a single, but he just told him to stand there, and that's my point. Like, no one was ready enough to play patient, smart cricket when you could have, and that's where we missed out on 20-25 runs easily because we, even the Punt scored a lot of boundaries. He had a lot of dot balls also, and that's my issue. And the same thing with Pakistan, because I always feel like if Pakistan played smart cricket yesterday, instead of Rizwan taking so many dot balls, if we just try to rotate strike, and players like Usman not trying to go hit off the first ball, try to just rotate the strike, you could have won the match easily. It's not a tough place where you can get easy singles or even doubles because you time it in the gap. This outfield is so slow that even the fielders are going to take so much time for them to come towards the ball. You can also find a lot of doubles if you can play smart. And yeah, pretty disappointing from at least India's perspective. We were looking at
No,
India.
100%, because I think exactly. I think outfield was pretty slow. Twos were on there. Twos were on for sure. I think yeah,
And it's
six
such a
pitches were.
big pitch also,
Yeah,
like the
it
ground
was a
is
big
huge.
ground. Yeah, yeah, ground is big. But anyways, moving on from this, because I think Pakistan pretty much, I think they've given themselves a really poor chance of qualifying now. If USA end up beating Ireland, it's over for Pakistan. That's that. And even if USA lose, it'll come down to net run rate.
Head
And
to head.
again, Pakistan have to win their 2 games in hand, which we don't know if they will. So
I
there's a
don't
lot
think
of things that
Pakistan can go right, no matter what.
And then even then
they
it
can.
comes to head to
Because it's
head.
head
Like,
to head, right?
It'll, oh, is it
Is
head to
it?
head?
I
yeah,
heard
I
it's
thought
head
it
to
was.
head. Because if
Okay.
it's head to head, then Pakistan don't go through because no
Yeah,
matter
if it is
what
head to head,
USA.
then yeah, they don't. Yeah, no matter what.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I thought it was net run rate, and I don't know.
Well, I'm not
Crickbuzz
sure.
also had it clarify yesterday. It looked the way they were speaking, it looked like it would be net run rate. But yeah, okay. Going to England, Australia, Rishi, because dude, this one again, this group is so interesting because Scotland ended up winning yesterday, and they beat Oman convincingly. 13 overs, they chased it down. They've got good run rate now, and if they don't suffer a bad loss to Australia, they've given themselves a great chance of going through. Or now somehow if they can sneak a win, even better. But for England, it's gotten a little difficult and it's gotten very interesting because they need big wins now going forward in this tournament. Do you think they'll get it? And the way they play, do you think they have enough?
Wait, for them, it's about big wins versus Oman, Namibia, and then hope. Oh, wait, the Scotland game was a washout. I completely forgot
Yes.
about that.
So Scotland need to lose first of all, and Scotland
Right.
needs to lose significantly against Australia, while they beat Namibia and Oman by big margins.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was unfortunate for both parties, Scotland and England, that the first game was washed out because I felt there was a great contest there to be played
Yeah.
out. Like, even the first innings that the Scotland openers put forth, it was there to be seen that it is not easy to hit, but if the batsman can read the game well, the chase was very much there. And knowing England's depth, even while watching Australia England, you could see that their batsmen are never ending. Like 7 down, Chris Jordan is coming. Like
Yeah.
almost like what like their depth. Of course, there are a lot of batsmen who are not accustomed to playing in these spin friendly tracks. Nonetheless, they are big proven names, and we were discussing before the IPL. I mean, before the World Cup, also how stacked their batting lineup was. It was all about finding the combination, and now it seems Harry Brook is coming much lower down the order. But yeah, it was really. I feel that if it comes down to that rain affected game, it's going to be really sad. At the same time, really hilarious that England have to go out this way. But again, it is what it is. Like on another day, it could have been Australia's game could have been washed out, and they might be under the pressure. It's just one of those. Yeah, but yeah, I feel England just let loose of Australia in the first innings. They were too erratic when it comes to their length and line to the bowlers. Like when you're letting someone like David Warner, who has not been comfortable going on the front foot, he straight up looked like he wanted to get at least 300 400 strike rate. He that's like from the ball one they had all the intent. And David Warner, even in the previous game, although he got to a very good score, it was not at a very
Good pace.
aggressive innings. So I felt that's where England lacked a little bit, where they let David Warner get off to he scored 39 off around 250 strike rate. And then every batter that came afterwards had at least 25 to 30 runs. That everyone's pitched in equally, like from Travis Head till Marcus Stoinis. That makes a whole lot of difference when your batters are able to not chip in with the big score. Even 30 30 30, you could see how much, like, I was very impressed by, on much to contrary about their Australian first game. I was so much impressed by this game because this showed that, of like, if when a situation arises, they all can pitch in and do their jobs well. This was not a one man show. This was very much a team performance. Even even when the England batsmen started going after the pace bowlers, it was Zampa who came in and took both the openers. And then that was what led to the Pacers getting in and digging into those middle order batsmen. So from that perspective, it was very positive to see how Australia as a team are going forward. But that being said, England, it pretty much seems like a doom and gloom for them at this point. I don't know what else to say.
Adi, is there real pressure on England? Because, of course, there is a very real possibility that Scotland could lose, and England actually can thrash Namibia and Oman. So, is how much pressure is there on England? Because it's very hard to gauge.
Yeah, I mean, it is huge pressure, right? But again, you have to look at it in the whole outlook of the group itself. We still have England pretty much on the same level of Scotland because England lost a very, very solid Australia side. It's not, they lost a shocker of a game maybe to Oman and Namibia. So, like, they're still in the same setup of, having to win at least the next two games. If Scotland lose another game, England will be back. It just depends on how they play against these two teams. Now that's where the pressure factor comes in because Scotland's already put in the points on the board, right? They'll have only one more game for them to play if you're taking out the Australia game. So it's more about how England take this two games, trying to score as many runs as possible, trying to get, their opponents to the lowest score as possible. That's basically the game plan. And they have to bat first in terms of, just getting as much runs as possible and then ensuring you get your opponents out for very low total. So that should be the game plan. Huge pressure for sure because after them having such a bad World Cup in India, they'll have to bounce back and they have to prove that uh, why they're the T20 World Champions and the mentality of going double etc. But huge pressure, but I think they can still do it. Like we can always sit and say England are in trouble because of the loss against Australia. But again, looking at this Australia side, I feel like losing to this Australia side is not the worst thing because, in my opinion, looking at this Australia side, they seem very strong. I feel like they remind me of the KKR which we just saw in IPL. They're very well all-rounded. They have batsmen as deep as possible, in my opinion. I still feel like Australia have a better batting lineup than England because of the balance. Because, as I said, with England, they have five top threes in the top five order. So again,
Hmm.
never look at I can't look at players like Harry Brooks, Liam Livingstone, and even Bairstow in the form he is, and be very sure of how they bat, especially against the top teams. So when it comes to that, I'm still disappointed in them and the form they are in, and still batting in this team. And again, also looking at them, I feel like they're very strong. So, dude, actually, to be fair, overall, this group Australia starting to scare me in terms of the T20 World Cup because you never know, they just look too strong for me in terms of their balanced lineup and players like Stoinis coming into form. And I think he's taken these conditions too well, and it's been bowling and batting well. It's consistent all-round performance. Similar to how I said, like you can compare him to your Andre Russell and his role in KKR. Maybe he comes a bit higher up the order, but it's very similar in terms of he's very consistent on both bowling and batting. Even though it's been two games, I just look at this Australian team and think they're very, very strong. And let's see
Hmm.
how the group turns up because again, only way I can see Scotland doing something is maybe them getting lucky with rain or something, and then England losing another game, or like Even if they get the rain, I think if they beat the last team, they're through, right, to the Super 8. So
Yeah,
you
if
never know.
If it does rain and Scotland and
Exactly.
Australia's
So
game
you
is
never,
washed out, that's that for England.
or even if what if England's one of their games get washed out, you never
Yeah,
know
if
that.
England, yeah, exactly. If one of their games get washed out, it's over again.
I think that would be too sad for England, like
That'd be
in
really
terms of.
sad, but it'd be really funny also. So yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, man, and then there are like other games also. Because you had South Africa, Netherlands that went to the wire. Although it was a low total from Netherlands, South Africa struggled to chase it. David Miller played a good knock in the end to get the job done there. And yeah, West Indies comfortably getting past Uganda, 170 odd, and then Uganda bowled out for 39. So these are the other games that were played. But let's just quickly on Pakistan. Pakistan play Canada tomorrow. Let's just quickly discuss that because if Pakistan can't get a job done tomorrow, it's over, Rishi. At least to take it to that last game against Ireland, they have to win tomorrow. You see them coming back strong. Canada have proved that they can be a tricky customer to deal with. Gave US a good fight. They beat Ireland. So it's not going to be easy for Pakistan, especially the way they're playing and given the mental side of things for them.
I mean, that's the thing. When Adi in one of the earlier episodes, he had told that Pakistan is that team where you would expect them to do a regulation job, and then here they are, doing the most surprising thing possible. So, as much as I want to say that they should get the job done, they should comfortably beat Canada because let's be real, like at least the batsmen are far from convincing for Pakistan, but their bowlers are still very effective. That I still can't bank on Pakistan that they will come their day now. If see, this was the narrative before the India game as well. Their backs were against the wall. It was pretty much a do or die game for them. They had to turn up, and then even from a chase where they needed less than six and over, they seem to have bottled it. So from you can't conclusively say that Pakistan will for sure get the job done. You ask any Pakistani fan, they will even at the back of their minds they will be doubtful that okay, can
That's
they at least get this done? It's as sad as it is that is the state of how Pakistan have been performing for a while, not just this World Cup. That is how they've been for a while. So
yeah, yeah.
uh,
No,
they on paper they should get the job done. But if you're being honest, Canada are also not at all a bad side. They've, like you said, they've beaten Ireland. They gave a good match to US as well, especially with the bat. So I can't easily say that Pakistan will win the game against Canada.
Adi, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. The thing with Pakistan, dude, it's not about, their skills. We all know they're very, very great side. We've seen them, come in last two World Cups, they perform very well, especially in the T20. For me, it's the mentality and the mental side of this, the way they've taken this tournament. Firstly, I don't think these guys work as a unit. Like even yesterday, running between the wickets. I think Pakistan have become one of the, most laziest sides on the field and running in between the wickets. Yesterday, I remember in the last over, needing how much did they need? 16, right? Of the last over?
18,
16,
18. 18, 18.
yeah, no, it was okay, yeah, whatever. The first ball, I forgot who took it. I think Shaheen Afridi took the first ball, right? Of the last over. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
it was
who
a
took
Yorker.
the last ball, but remember they took a single in the first ball. I mean, it went
Yeah,
for LBW, etc. The way they ran, like from the other end, I think it was Afridi who took the single, but the batsman was just stood there. He was just jogging, and Asdeep could have easily gotten him run out in that first ball. Coming into the last over, 18 runs is still possible as a total in the last over, and you have to put the intent of running. And there's not even this. We saw the same thing against USA in the Super Over. Like the way they're taken this entire tournament mentally, the preparation towards it, and the attitude towards the game, it's pathetic to an extent because the amount of laziness they have on the field, the amount of apart from Shadab Khan, I don't think anyone else takes fielding seriously. Even
yeah.
Babar Azam dropped a catch yesterday. He was just smiling because they were in a low total, right? And he dropped a catch. He was just showing. He was smiling. He was just reasoning why he dropped. The mentality was never like, okay, how can I drop this? I need to put pressure on them. Even giving 1 run, 2 runs extra, you can't. If you want to be a top side, you should have the mentality of no, I can't give you 5 runs extra. I want to get you out right now. And these guys don't have that. And the attitude towards the game is why they're losing, and that's the reason they lost against US. It was not a skill issue; it was an attitude issue, clear attitude issue. Same thing today. And as a unit, I don't even think they communicate properly. It's very, very, very weird from my side. Like for me, I would rather still back a team who has the right attitude, even if when it comes to the skill level, you might be a bit lower in the order, basically Canada, but their mentality and the respect towards the game. Looking at both the sides, I feel like Canada can do it just because the way they're looking at the game and the way they want to win it. I don't think Pakistan are here to really push themselves and try to go through no matter what. So let's see how they take it. But
Yeah,
I still think it's very, very, very casual the way they're playing.
no, 100%. I agree. I think the attitude is a big factor, and sometimes you just end up backing the side that they just look like they want it on the field, and Pakistan clearly look like they don't. But yeah, I mean, again, it is what it is with them. Yeah, looking forward to these games, guys. Thanks for joining, Adi and Rishi. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please do like and share these videos. Subscribe to Sports Kabri, and yes, we'll be back.